Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices. I'd like to start with the S&P 500, however, and with the S&P, the same with the Russell, is that we've been looking at a corrective move back for wave 4, and we're looking for 5 waves to the upside here, and we have wave 1 and 2 in place, and wave 3 and 4 and 5 here. It should take us to around the 2480 mark here, but we may also see an extension because of this large number here as a bit of a psychological finishing line. So if I just go to the hourly chart now to get a bit more detail on that, if this market's going to be pushing up, and this means that the US banks and the technology companies are the same, but the banks and the US banks and the DAX have the same sort of overall sort of wave count. So if this is going to continue to push up on an intraday basis, the S&P and the European indices have been sort of tracking pretty closely in a move up. So it's quite clear here what this move is here. There's, we're only sort of two-thirds of the way through it here. So I think it's important to take this on board when looking at the European market. So first of all, I want to have a look at the FTSE here, just on the 1 hour. It's been a bit of a complicated count. However, it does count from the top here down as an A and a B and a C wave here. Now, it could get, and this move from this high here down to here and back up here, this is the 50-60% retracement level. So if it's going to fail, this is where it's going to fail from, and then we would have to move this into a larger ABC correction as such here. But if the US market is going to push up, then we can look at this market pushing up as well. But most of the European markets are facing their 61.8% mark up here. The other interesting thing with this, though, is that we can also count this up here much in line with the S&P 500 as well. And normally when I find that when you get 5 waves to the 61.8% mark here, then you would get an ABC pattern then, and then further up from that side yet. But I don't need to go into this here just yet, because I would need to confirm that we've actually got 3 waves back to the 50-60% mark. But in the short term here for the European markets, we can expect them to move up here based on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And most of the European markets are the same. I'll just go to the AEX at the moment here. Now, this has also been a little bit of a messy count in line with the European markets. We're looking for the market to pull back into the 500 area here, but it has sort of gotten away on us here a little bit here. I know that on the physical market that this low here, for instance, was lower than this one, and this one here on the cash market is back down through here as well. So it's kind of okay to count this as the 1 and the 2 and the 3rd down to this particular low here. And a 4th and a 5th wave here. If you look on the cash market, that's sort of fitting. It also leaves us with the scenario that we've got 3 waves to the upside here so far. 3 or 4 to come into play, and 5 here is likely. It could also be an A and a B and a C to this current high here as well. But I think that what would be important here is that we know that this number here, the 520, for example, starts to get into where most of the sort of volume was turned over in here. So if after 5 waves here, if we get 5 waves off this low here, then we can start. It won't be all of the story. We would still need to get, if we even had the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, we'd still have to wait for the A, the B, and the C wave here, and recognise that as a corrective move here, as an ABC before turning long here on the European markets. Because if I've made a mistake here, it would be that this would be the A wave, B wave and C wave to here. So I'm not going to go on the 5 waves alone just here. I would also need to wait for a corrective move to come into play. But it has pulled back to its space, but it could certainly move back down here before moving up here again as well. One of the clearest counts that we've had in Europe, as I may have mentioned before, was the mid caps here, and in this one here, I felt like we've tracked this one quite well in the way of looking at it as an A wave, a B wave in 3 waves, and then 5 waves down here. So it can be, I've got it down as an ABC pattern, and the DAX can also be counted like this as well. It's possible to have this is the A wave here, and it also might be not. It may be finished here as well. One of the things we've got here though is we've got 5 waves up here for wave A, and then a B, and then we're looking the same thing as the other markets here too, looking for 5 waves up here. But this could also be wave 1 here, where I've got the A wave and wave 2 here. So I need this to finish. I need 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. Once that's finished, then we can have a look at what we've actually got. So I'm looking at the possibility of being an A wave, A, B and C for the B wave here, and then down for the C wave here. That's a real possibility. But we also need to look at the fact that we do have 3 waves in our first corrective swing here, so that may be enough just to take us continually to go up higher and make new highs above this previous high here. But I won't know about that until this 5 wave structure in here, from here 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here finishes, and then we'll have an ABC here, and then if we get support back up here, then we can go long from here. So it's not like we're going to miss anything, it's just that we need to be clear of where we are at the time. So in terms of trading for Friday and Monday, it's basically higher ground here to go as well. But this is where the DAX comes in here as well. So just bringing the DAX across on the hourly chart here to start with. See, it's possible for the DAX to be like the other markets, an A and a B and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and be a wave C here and continue to move up from here. But I don't know that. We have to get past this box here, so that brings us into well, let's just bring that up to 2.7 here, because that 12,700 roughly is the 61.8% retracement level. We'll have a look at this in a moment. So yeah, it's got a bullish move here, and by looking at the US markets, which is going to go higher, so we would just naturally assume that this could go higher as well. But we need to get some evidence of that, and if this was going to be bullish, then we have to work out if this is going to be an A wave, a B wave and a C wave to here, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. And if it's going to be 5, well, then we'll get a move back and then we'll go higher here. So I think just staying with it on an intraday basis is what we should do. So with that in mind, going into the tick chart here, just bring a few more units in here. So there's different ways to count this here. So it's also possible to have this as an A and a B and 5 waves up for the C wave here. But whichever way we look at it, we should just stay for the time being with this structure that we're working with here at the moment. So with that in mind, if we look at this as wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1, ABC for wave 2, and then we'll be looking up for wave 3 here. So wave 3, I've got this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 3. And then wave 4 would pull back to wave 4 for 1 lesser degree, so that's in play, and that can be an A and a B and a C. This could get a little bit more complicated here as well. I'm not quite sure about that, but If it got more complicated, it would just simply be that we would get it's a tick chart, so I can't draw on this side here. It would just come back that all of this would be the A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave down to here. It wouldn't pull down much further than it already is here, but it's more likely that this is the 5 waves here for the A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and down for the C wave being completed here, and this market continuing to move to the upside. So this number here, the 650, is always really important as well, and for a couple of reasons, but you can see that it's developing, it's been testing it for some support here, obviously at the end of the session, so it's going to be end of US session, so it's going to be a little bit wild, but what you could do is that if this high here was breached, then you can go long from that point there as such, and looking for another move to the upside for wave 5, taking out this here. The 61.8% is the top of this box here, so the 12.7 to the 12.72 here would be the target zone to trade through at this point here. Okay, I've covered the DAX, the AEX. I think I've covered what I need to cover here at the moment, so I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.